guys, I hope you're all well. I have just been putting clothes away in the boys' rooms and I realised that they've gotten a little bit cluttered again. Just things like clothes that don't fit them anymore and maybe books that are too young for them, and yeah, they just needed a little bit of a minimalism sweep. And instead of filming the way that I normally film, I thought I'd maybe kind of do like a sit down step-by-step video of how I tend to minimise their rooms, like the things that I look out for and the things that I try to do, just to kind of give you some tips rather than you just watching me do it and then try and replicate that. So yeah, I'm starting with Jensen's room, and what I tend to do first is tidy it up. So any clothes that need to go away, even if I look at them and think, oh, that's a little bit too small or he doesn't really wear it, I put it back in as long as I know that I'm going to be minimising like then and there, just so that everything is in one place, because what I don't want to do is go through all of their stuff, minimise it, think that it's all done, and then there's a pile of clothes outside of his room to be put away. So this not only means that everything's in one place to help me to minimise, but it also just makes it easier because the room is tidier and everything in life is easier to do in a tidy room. So that's my first thing. And then in both of my boys' rooms, they don't really have any toys. In fact, Jasper doesn't have any at all. Jensen's just got like a tiny basket. So the only real things to go through were their clothes, their books, and they've got a shelf each in their room which has like a few little knickknacks and stuff on. So starting with the wardrobe, I just pull anything out that either is too small, maybe has a stain on or like a little hole in or something like that, because a lot of the time I think, oh, I'll just save that stuff for preschool and nursery. But then half the time I don't actually put him in them for preschool and nursery because I feel a little bit embarrassed that they are a bit stained or have a hole in, so it just stays in the wardrobe. Anything that I look at and think, I haven't put him in that for months, it fits him, it's perfectly good condition, but I just don't like it, that goes as well. Anything as well that's not in season, so shorts and t-shirts, stuff like that. If you've got quite a big wardrobe and you've got the space to have everything there, then I think it's a really good idea to do that, because then you know that all of their clothes are in one space. But if you're limited space, then take out anything summery, because let's face it, unless you're going on holiday soon, you're not going to need shorts and t-shirts. So I take everything down like that. Anything that's left in the wardrobe, I then do the following. So I make sure that nothing's inside out, so everything's the right way. I also make sure that buttons, zips, anything like that is all done up. Not all of the buttons, but at least the top one, so that if I am going through the hangers, if the buttons aren't done up on, say, a baby grow, they fall off and it's just a bit annoying. So I make sure that at least like the top 1 or 2 buttons are done up, and it just makes it a lot easier to see what's there as well. I then organise it all. So most of the things in Jensen's wardrobe are hung up. So I have, say, short sleeve t-shirts, then long sleeve t-shirts, then cardigans, hoodies, and baby grows. And I just keep it all sectioned, so when I go to choose him an outfit, I just know I need to go this way for t-shirts, this way for, I don't know, hoodies, and then down there for the folded up trousers. And as well, it makes it easier when I need to replenish his clothes. Like if I think he's running out of things, or he's growing out of things, I can see all in one place. These are his t-shirts. I don't have to kind of root through everything. So it makes it easier in the long run as well. I also make sure that all the hangers are facing the same way. This isn't for a practical reason at all, although it does make it easier just to know that you can take all the hangers off one way, but it's more for me. I just think it looks nicer to have all the hangers the same way, and if possible have the same kind of hangers as well. So I have 2 different types of hangers in Jensen's wardrobe, but I make sure that all of the t-shirts, long sleeve tops, and say jumpers have one type, and then baby grows and hoodies and stuff have a different one. So I do that for anything hung up, anything folded as well, and things that are folded I kind of give a bit of a shake and refold as well, because they might have gotten creased and you never know, spiders might have got in there or anything like that. I go through socks, I get rid of any odd ones, I got rid of things like bibs and muslins and blankets because he hardly uses them anymore, so there's no point in even having them in there. I then go through toiletries as well, and this is really important because a lot of the toiletries will give you like, not a use by date, but it will tell you the kind of how long you should have them for. And it's normally in months, so like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. So it'll be a little symbol and it will just say 3, 6, 9, 12, something like that. And yeah, if I know that I've had something since, say, Jensen was born, and it says anything less than 24 months, I get rid of it. Especially where he's got quite sensitive skin, it's just not worth putting anything on his skin that's potentially out of date. And then I do the same for his knickknacks. So at the top of his wardrobe, he's just got, you know, things like baby books and keepsakes and things that I've just not been ready to get rid of yet. But for me, I think I'd rather just keep maybe 1 pair of shoes, 1 little vest, and his first little pair of mittens, rather than like a vest, a jumper, a pair of trousers and all of that. So if you're very sentimental, or if you know you're going to have more children, then, you know, keep as much stuff as you want like that. But yeah, for me, I just thought I don't need all of that stuff. I never look through it, and I'd rather just have like 2 or 3 items that really mean something to me. I also had like baby books that I've never even written in because I've got my blog and I've got my YouTube channel and I've documented everything on there, so I've just not needed to have them. I then went through his books, which are under his bed. I do need to put a shelf up to put his books on, but for now they're just kept in the drawer under his bed. So I went through that. I gave it a bit of a clean because it was gross under there, and like wiped down all the books that I was keeping, and I just got rid of any that were a bit babyish and yeah, just that he wasn't interested in anymore. And I also just went across his shelf and got rid of anything that isn't used. I mean, it's just stuff for display, so I had like pom-poms up from his first birthday. Once I've got everything in a big pile on the floor, sometimes I organise it into piles as I'm doing it, sometimes I just put it all on the floor and then do it. I have a bag for charity, a bag for things that are just broken and, you know, have holes in and stuff to go in the bin. And I have a pile of things that I'm going to give to, say, friends that are having babies quite soon. And also things that I'm going to sell if there's like an expensive baby item that's hardly being used. And then once I've done that, once everything is nice and tidy and minimised, I give it all a clean. So just a kind of typical weekly clean, like hoovering and wiping down the sides, but I also do inside of the wardrobe. So I give everything a wipe down and just hoover around the bottom because it accumulates so much dust in there. I don't really know how, but yeah, it gets quite dusty. And that's it. That's typically what I do for my room and both of the boys' rooms. I tend to do that kind of thing seasonally. It just as the weather changes and they're kind of changing their clothes and the kind of toys that they're playing with. I think it's a really good way of keeping on top of it, and I think 4 times a year is enough to minimise. Unless your child is a hoarder or you're a hoarder, you might want to do it a bit more frequently, but as you start to minimise, kind of hoardering, I don't know if that's a word, tendencies will hopefully be eliminated anyway. But yeah, I hope you found this useful. I really do want to do a lot more minimalism content, but I've just been trying to think of ways that I can do it that are just a little bit different and not just the same thing that I've been doing the whole time. But yes, any tips that you guys have got, please do comment below because I would love to know. And yeah, give it a big fat thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I am off to do my room. Bye!